The moment
damn.
we've all been waiting for.
Yes.
So, you want me to show you
What?
on the computer?
What? Okay. What? You can go. Oh, it's for live streaming.
Yeah, it's if you were. So, the ATEM is an encoder. So, you know how I have my live view that I use for the encoding,
Yeah.
the standalone unit? Well, the ATEM can essentially, if with an internet connection, can live stream to YouTube without the other encoder. The other encoder allows you to have multiple internet sources, and then it bonds those sources, then it sends it to YouTube. So you actually don't sign in to YouTube whenever you're using the live view.
So, wait. But if you had a YouTube channel and you were trying to do a live stream, it
In
doesn't
studio,
Yeah.
in studio, you could just do it. You could just get on right through the ATEM if you wanted to.
Damn.
Yeah.
But how would you? But you could also do it through a channel that you've already kind of established.
No, you would
mean-
get your stream key that you have for your channel, and then you put it into the ATEM, and then you go on air, go live. Then you go to your YouTube channel, and then you make sure it's going live as well, and then everything's good.
So there's a stream key then. See, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Just learned something right there. Stream
Wow.
key. But hey, sounds good now. Let's get into it, man. I know you had a tough weekend. Just tell me what happened.
So it was my first paid live stream gig. This is what I've been working towards for the last 8 months, buying equipment, testing it. It seemed I was literally working until like a couple hours before the gig. So there's been a lot of things that have changed and that have needed to be tested. So it was my first gig. I was excited.
Congrats on the first gig.
Yeah, thanks.
And we've had the chance to kind of hash through it, but like let's really dive in to what essentially was a fuck up.
Yeah, it was a fail.
But I mean, that
a live stream fail.
Everybody fails, right? And so let's dive into this live stream fail because as videographers, we're used to what we do in that kind of capacity, but live streaming, especially with the onset of live streaming value as far as what the pandemic did, it seems like, let's do this.
Yeah.
But when you actually do it,
it's a lot.
Tell us about that.
So my thought behind it was, okay, I want good coverage. I want it to be as wireless as possible, so there's not any cables getting in the way, somebody tripping over something. And then that way you are able to create the angles that you want as well, right? So you're not impaired by the cable, You're able to move. You're flexible completely.
Like if someone just saw you, they'll think he's just shooting a regular wedding.
He's just shooting video. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my angle, right? I was like, okay, I want to be wireless. I want to be a ninja out there with these big ass cameras and crazy tripods. So basically what went wrong, there's a list.
Okay. Start at the top.
Should have went earlier.
Time.
Now, I don't know if more than likely more time, let's even say an hour earlier, more time could have introduced more problems as well. And I'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything's powered off battery. I can go full rogue out into anywhere where there's wireless internet service, of course, which there wasn't that day. But I can go with my setup, plug it all into batteries, cameras plugged into batteries, and everything's supposed to work. So let's say we get there earlier, which is the idea. I should have got there earlier. I should have tested everything. Everybody's mic'd up. I'm not rushing at all, right? I thought I had enough time. I was wrong.
How much time was that?
I was going to give myself an hour to set up everything. I'm so used to shooting weddings for video, and like an hour, bro, that's like...
Yeah, you're set up and you're just
way
chilling.
more than you need 30 minutes, and And if the DJ's already set up when you're shooting video, you have 30 minutes, you mic a couple people, pop open your tripods, connect your audio, and you're good. Live stream, I think you need more like, especially if you're doing wireless transmission, right? And if you're doing cellular bonding, there's all these different technologies that they need a little time. They need to boot up. You got to log in. You got to log in somewhere else. If there's some type of issue, you need to have enough time after everything's turned on in order for you to sort it out, right? So I would say hour and a half not on site, like at ceremony,
Not, I've parked my car at the venue with an hour and a half till ceremony.
No.
You're talking, my feet are in the back aisle, or my feet are in the chapel.
Yeah.
With an hour and a half till ceremony.
Yeah, maybe an hour if, because, okay, an hour and a half you'd be parked and then you're an hour set up. It's just, there's still just so much that you have to set up. You're moving your studio like you have here, and you're packing it up into your car, then unpacking it and hauling it into a ceremony, then resetting it up, unboxing everything, plugging all your cables back in, turning your transmitters, receivers on, turning your audio on, finding the bride, the groom, getting them wired up for their audio.
If they're even there yet.
If
she's not like in the bridal suite.
She probably is.
Right. See, that's a huge, huge hurdle there that I'm like, I wasn't there that day, but I know Tom was helping you out. And good thing he was there, which is another thing. Like, you need another person, right?
I thought maybe you could do this job with one person, not the way I have it set up.
So I tried. Actually, was that on Friday? I might have been
Thursday. It was the 13th.
No,
probably will never forget it.
It's funny because on that same exact day I was shooting, I did a mobile version of this, which is similar, right? 3 camera setup, except I wasn't doing a live stream. I didn't have the extra added layer of complication of a live stream, like you said, signing into all these accounts, systems checks on all these different levels. I could just show up, but still, packing the gear and unpacking the gear took way longer than I thought.
Yeah.
I did have a good amount of bags that I felt comfortable with my gear in.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. It's like, you don't want shitty bags. You want
I got cases now.
Yeah. Like, you don't even have bags. You have cases. I mean, you kind of show us what you have and what you used on this fateful afternoon.
Yeah.
But underestimating the amount of time it takes and care and attention it takes to simply packing up, just moving from one location to another, even if it's the same venue, spot A to spot B to spot C.
It would be the same exact thing as your initial setup. There would be you would have to have a lot of time in between. So you could, like, let's say the difference would be, instead of loading up and packing your cameras again and your tripods, you walk one. But you have to walk one at a time, maybe, unless you're able to carry 2 big tripods with 2 big cameras with monitors, transmitters on there.
See, now you're asking for a small mishap.
Yeah.
One's going to tilt and hit a tree. Like,
some venues you can walk from ceremony to reception. Or like it's a short distance.
Like Lu'ulu Palms.
Like Lu'ulu Palm. Shout out to Lu'ulu Palm, Farm Estate, North Shore.
That's right.
Some are not. Well, for instance, most of them are all walking distance, but walking distance with X amount of gear in your hands, you're going to throw it in a cart. And then you're talking full breakdown.
Yeah.
Because that's how the stuff is set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I have for my cameras, because the cameras they're not the hardest part, but they're the most fragile part. That's what they are. In a bag, I found it's just not safe enough for this kind of thing. So whenever I did that production assistance, when I did that PA gig for the Jacquemus shoot that we did at Secret Island, whenever the guys built the cameras, these production REs, just beautiful cameras, what they did is they built the camera, tested everything. Then they throw it in a big plastic box with a bunch of moving blankets. There's your camera 1. Boop. John's getting that one. Somebody else is building camera 2. Boop. Peter's getting that one. So when you get to set, you turn it on and everything should be dialed. That was the idea.
See, but you're doing all of that.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You
I
didn't
did all
have-
that like a couple hours before, you know.
So you had your cameras like set up, wired.
Almost wired. So they each needed to have their HDMIs from the camera to the monitor and monitor to the transmitter. But that was as simple as I could make it, because I didn't want to jeopardize any of the ports.
Especially when you're talking about transporting gear.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave it plugged in.
No.
You don't want to leave it locked on. It's always like that extra added step that's ensuring your longevity and your equipment. Your investment.
Exactly.
But then you're sort of always juggling priorities because time, pressure, unforeseen circumstances, these things are going to like...
It's real.
Oh, I mean... So, yeah, go... like.
I was excited, though. I'm excited. Tom comes over. We're all set up. I got all the gear. I got all the I finally got to this point. I'm labeled. I'm like, what? I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we got this, man. Then we load up. We pull it out there. We set it up.
And then what?
Okay, so from that point, what we noticed was it was pop open tripods, pull cameras out of the case, plug in all your HDMI cables, turn cameras on, open up the ATEM box, which I have a ATEM switcher with a monitor and a box that's all in one.
Custom build.
Shout out to me. You.
Which we kind of showed on a previous episode. By the way, shout out to the first... this is our third time doing this, but the first time with a light on.
Yeah.
The other 2 times was like in the dark. But
I know.
go for it.
Looks good though.
Yeah. It's
It's getting better and better, folks. So I open up the ATEM and I turn it on. So I have a battery bank. I believe it's 50,000 milliamp hour battery bank. So what I did to guarantee that my monitor is a super slim AOC built-in battery monitor. So it can be running without a V mount. It could be running without a battery bank. But I didn't want to risk it, so I went ahead and threw that on the battery bank as well. I have an internal and external fan for the ATEM, so it doesn't overheat. So I threw one on the external, so it would exhaust the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turn on the ATEM.
Okay.
So it's all powered right there in one station.
Nice.
So the next thing after that was you plug in your receivers. So I used the Hollyland 300 Pro, and I actually made it. I made some mounts for my transmitters.
Ooh.
Or my receivers. So
on your ATEM setup?
on the
or your
ATEM,
monitor?
yeah.
Okay.
So now everything is off. The ATEM could be moved and be powered with the receivers.
Nice.
I don't know why that would happen, but just in my head, it seemed like something nicer than things shuffling around, or if the table got hit, it could fall.
Yeah.
Just try to proof it, you know? So, boom, turn on the transmitter, turn on the receiver. Camera 1 or camera 3 connects. I do camera 3, 4, and 5. It's just how the ATEM reads the cameras. So, one of the cameras connects. All right, here we go. Second one connects. Third one doesn't connect. I still don't know why. It's been a few days. It's been maybe like 4 days. I think we had your birthday after it. Yeah.
That was yeah.
So there's been some days where like I haven't opened up all the gear and like gone through it, recharged batteries. I just haven't. I don't need to charge the batteries. I don't have a gig, you know.
Yeah.
I don't need to have the batteries charged.
Big ass battery bank too.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna look at it. When I look at it, I was more. I needed to do the footage. I needed to edit it, right? So that was my main concern. So one of the transmitters and receivers did not connect. At this point, we still believe that we're doing a live stream. So we're like, okay, we should keep trying this over and over and over. We're turning it on, off, we're doing on, off. The other two worked. So
Why just that one?
Yeah. So I still need to like test and see, like, did I mix them up or something?
I know a lot of with at least the wireless, like the Sennheisers, for example, or even probably the Picos, like the Pico mics. Sometimes if you don't pair them, or maybe you pair this, like for your wireless transmitters, I don't know, do they need to be paired in a similar fashion as how you do like lav mics?
We tried that.
And it didn't. I'm sure you tried
and it said
everything.
failed. We tried it. We tried it. I don't know what happened, but we kept trying it over and over and over again while we still needed to set up the encoder, the Live View Solo. So we turn on the Live View Solo. It's up and running. When you use the Live View Solo, so on my computer, I should tell you about my desk and what I have out there. So on that, I have a table out there that I bring. I bring everything that I need to set up. Okay. The only thing that I wish I would have or could figure out is an umbrella.
I was going to say the sun over there is...
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have an outdoor production studio live stream. You know, like it's everything you use in here, outside.
Yeah, no, that's not...
Yeah. No. Nobody wants that. No. You want to be in the shade.
These Sonys, I mean, these guys
are
pretty lightweight as is, especially with direct sun.
They start getting heat on them, forget it. Yeah. You know?
Okay.
So I'm just like...
Everything else besides that you brought...
I bring everything. So okay. I open up my table. I got the freaking, the nice, beautiful linen that goes on it. Yeah, okay. Shout out to Kevin Photo for getting that tailored in a day. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice. He hooked it up.
Kevin.
Okay. I don't know who did it, but he took care of it.
Okay.
My man. So we have that. Then we have the ATEM, all the receivers connected to it. And then we have a laptop stand with a laptop. And then underneath that, we do the encoder.
Okay.
So that's going to have a battery bank. It's going to have the encoder itself that's going to send off the internet signal in your video feed. And then we have the routers and everything that are connected to that all right there. So it's pretty simple. I managed to clean it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a small footprint.
It's 4x2.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's pretty small. It's pretty, it's pretty discreet, you know?
So you're by that little stone island?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I should have just been hiding in the shade somewhere. I should have just went to the side. That's what I should have done. Because I'm going to have two people next time. You know, and that person could be over there. Mm-hmm. They don't need to be close. You know, those Hollylands do like 300 feet. So range shouldn't be an issue. Mm-hmm. So we have that, you know, so you open up your ATEM, you start getting the transmitters working. Also, you got to make sure the hard drive's working. Sometimes I feel like I have to switch because I have two USB-Cs. Yeah, I have two USB-Cs. Okay. You only have one.
Yeah.
You have no option. Yours works, right? It either works or it don't work. Yeah. Well, mine, sometimes you have to switch it. I don't know. I got to look at it.
Okay.
So at first it didn't record. Boom. Okay, switch it. Okay, fine. And we're records now. Okay, fine. Okay, we're just checking off stuff that's like, you don't want to have to, but that's how it goes.
Especially your first time.
So you need more time. You know,
more time, more people.
More time, more people.
More hands.
Preferably someone who shoots video. I love you, Tom, but you know.
Yeah, not Tom.
When you understand what you're looking for,
and he's good at problem solving too, right? I think
he's great.
Anybody in the wedding industry
and a huge help
is a problem solver because that's all you're doing. You're getting paid to solve problems, right?
And you got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
And Tom is, you know, that's part of it. But you still. Yeah, his composition's great, you know, but you still got some little things that you learn when you shoot video. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is, you know, which I'm fine. I'm learning too, you know, we all learn it. Yeah.
It's not like you're ever like, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, I got this.
No.
Yeah.
Because then something new is going to come out.
No.
You're
or
trying
something messes
new.
Up.
Yeah. So
how
this
about that
camera.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. You're still shooting on very good cameras. So that's what I heard. I was like, okay, if the live feed on one didn't work, you can still do a 2 camera.
Absolutely.
There's people.
That's what I was gonna do.
Do a 2. Oh, so you.
I was like, okay, Tom, we got to stop this.
Yep.
We kept trying it over and over and over. We're gonna stop this. We're gonna live stream 2 cameras. No big deal.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
We got ND filters. Our shutter speed's going to be exactly what it needs to be. We're not going to be modifying it. I had a technique that I used that I thought it would be, it would cover us.
Yeah.
And overall, I think so. When we look at the images, the colors look good. And any adjustments that needed to be made were fine with 8-bit. It didn't need to be 10-bit.
Gotcha.
So we weren't too far off.
Yeah.
The next thing that happened was, so we mic up. Everybody's mic'd. Everybody gets mic'd. No problem there.
Who you're miking up?
We mic'd up the officiant. He got two mics. He got a Pico wireless mic, and he got a Rode Go Wireless 2 mic. That was good. That was easy. And then Tom went and mic'd up Justin, the groom, and we used one of the Picos, which are pretty tiny. They're like, what, inch and a half or something? Yeah. And I said, man, just have her throw it in her shirt. Like, don't even clip it. Just toss it in, like, we'll get something.
In the dress, right?
Yeah. We'll get it through the dress. We'll get something. Just a little backup.
So 2 Picos. Well, the Pico comes with 2 left and right. But then
and the Rode has 2 also.
2. Okay.
So
you got 4 lavs on.
4 lavs.
At the altar. Are you taking any feet off the board at all?
Okay. So when it comes to the audio, this is actually something I really need to figure out. You want to have enough audio to cover, cover all your bases, right? You want good, clean audio and you need it to work. And you want to have something that's like a safety, right? But when you're doing live streaming, everything's out all at the same time. So if we have we have our own mics on.
Yeah.
My mic's going to catch you a little bit.
Yeah.
Your mic's going to catch me a little bit. And then let's throw 2 more in there. And then you have this like background feedback or like a little bit of, if they're not transmitting at the same speed, then one has a latency in it.
I hear you.
So now I'm actually to a point where this is an ongoing problem. This isn't something that has been resolved yet.
This is still on the to-do list.
This is still on the figure it out before you take another gig for saying it's going to be a live stream. I could shoot video. my gear I can shoot video. I just need a second shooter, but I can shoot video because I'll just record everything.
You have that luxury in this case of time and separating yourself from the promise of a live stream. Yeah. So one, I think we should acknowledge the fact that the live stream that you're offering is better than any other live stream that's out there. Capacity wise, theoretically, you could say
when it works,
when it starts to work, because what are your competitors out there? Uncle with an iPhone, like some family member who's like in a front row, shaky camera footage, is on Facebook Live. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's a different level.
What you're offering blows every other, hey, he's just going to put this on we got one of those plastic tripods off Amazon and got this clamp that it looks ugly in the back row. Like, that's your competition. Right. Or there's other wedding vendors who've already kind of experimented in this place and are probably getting a lot of value from this too, because I'm sure we're all figuring it out at the same time. So when you're bringing up this issue about audio, I'm thinking, what if, kind of like what I have set up here, is you have a sound mixer through which you can set up you can sync all the audio so that if this one has a 0.6 decibel or millisecond latency, you can adjust for that. Again, this is just adding to the complexity, adding to your setup time and all that.
No, this would have to be something you do before. So this would be something that you would test before. And then you say, I'm using this brand of mic. I'm using this brand of mic. I'm plugging this one into this camera. I'm plugging this one into this camera. And this is how it's going to go whenever it's live. They don't switch around because the different brands are going to have different preamps. They're going to have different. So you're going to change your volume different. Well, so it's got to stay the same. But you're right. You got to do it before. And if there's any latency, you got to make those adjustments so it sounds correct. You're right.
Just have a soundboard. Yeah. I know it's one more piece.
But you can do that inside the ATEM as well.
And And or well then, this is something you have to really account for. It's just more fail points at the end of the day. But
So many.
having the at Ulu Palms, for example, where you have sort of access to the sound guy.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the DJ is going to be at the ceremony. The DJ/MC service for the reception is typically also offering. A lot of times they'll add
A
like
ceremony.
an add-on. Like, hey, you want me to do ceremony too? I'll bring my own sound system, mics, whatever. Right?
Probably 90+% at the time they're gonna have it.
But then now the video team is at the mercy of the quality of their gear and how they set it up.
Correct.
So there's that level of like, I don't know what you brought, but I'm relying on it.
Right.
But there's still the when it's good. Maybe this is something that you have to consider too. But like, if you brought your own central or like singular source that you could rely on,
Yeah.
whether that be through a soundboard of your own or through a reliable partner, who, oh, I know your system. I can rely on this one output that has like a mic on 2 people, or maybe it's just the mic,
Or it's just the one mic,
the
which
mic at the altar.
should work. But how many weddings have we worked that it doesn't?
That's what I'm saying.
So okay,
you'd have
so
to bring
then
your own, maybe.
so then let's since we're on the audio, so then where are we at here? So let's say we use the Pico with the A7 III. We use the Rode on the A7C.
Okay.
We sync those up to make sure that they're right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no background. It's just I guess a fuller sound. I guess because it's all getting picked up.
I would just get all the same.
Yeah, you just want it to be even.
I would get or like all Picos,
Oh,
all
I
Rodes,
see,
or
I
all
see, I see.
Sennheisers,
Just
all the
get
same.
all the same. Yeah.
Just
Well,
get
that's a
all-
whole nother story, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Again, it's like we were just talking about how much money do we want to spend before we make money.
And then you're like, wait, I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I have like all these different
Yeah.
brands and models, and it's
that's-
like,
I mean, that's why I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna get all same
Abs-
bodies. I mean, the lenses you have a lot more free. Like
you just
wiggle
need to
room.
know which camera takes which lens. Like this one lives on this one, or this one
Yeah.
has 2 options, but this one never changes. So you just, when you, the more stuff that that needs the least amount of changes, then you can have a little bit more control.
So if you already had your mics that were all the same brand,
Yeah.
and you could have either just one all the way up to, let's say, 4 if you want,
Yeah.
lav wireless mics, then you could even do it this way where who's going to be the DJ there. Say, hey, I'll give you an output of everybody because you just brought one mic that's on this stand. So now it's like, how many times have you seen an efficient like hold a mic down here? It's an efficient who just got their license online last week.
Oh yeah.
A friend of the bride, groom, whatever.
Yeah.
They're not used to using a mic. They forget where to put it. Oh, she's saying her vowels now, but I have to hold this thing that I wrote down. Like,
right, or they read it like this.
Yeah,
or
like
way.
you're relying on so much other factors. Whereas, like, all right, well, you know what? Don't worry about anything in your hands. I'm gonna put labs on all of you guys. Oh, you're gonna have a reading. Okay, great. Here's one for you. Blah blah blah. Right? Maybe I'll even set it up if it's at a chapel or something. Put one at the podium where I know someone's gonna do some readings.
Yeah.
But then all these different sources come into a singular point that you control that are all under the same brand, right?
Right.
From which you can not only provide a clean output of all of them, no echoing, no latency issues into the live stream, but then also if you wanted to be like, hey, DJ, just take it out from here, from my board, that goes into your speakers that you set up here at the ceremony. You know what I mean?
It's true. Can you do that with the Zoom?
Certain Zooms you can.
The
Like
F6 and the F3 or F2 or something?
Yeah. Probably not the F2,
No.
the little one.
Because it's only... No.
The little
Oh,
recorder. The Zoom F2 is like that little recorder.
The little
on
guy.
body one.
I like those.
Those are
I like
those. Are
those.
tight.
Those are 32-bit flow.
Those are great, like backups, right?
Yeah.
Put those on the mic stand or
Those are
in
perfect.
the altar. Like those are great.
Yeah.
The 32-bit float, you can recover so much. But as far as
But
you can't
no,
live stream that though.
No, but
You know what I mean?
isn't there another Zoom that it's like the H6, but it's like an H2,
Yes.
right?
So that one over there in that corner is that the 6.
That one's like $650 or something.
I'm just like, just
Just
take my
don't
money. B&H.
tell me. Don't.
No.
This is what I
Just
need. Don't
yeah,
tell me
exactly.
about it.
Which is actually like redundant because like I have the the Rodecaster and that.
It sounds like you got some stuff for sale.
No, but that one is great for in-field recordings when I have like multiple inputs. So
Right.
kind of like what you're talking
Right.
about is like I'll put my 2 lavs on there. I could put up to 6. I could put 2 lavs. I could put 1 mic input, and then I have an out. So that out, kind of like what I'm doing with the Rodecaster right there, that out goes into the ATEM Mini that I have. And so this mic, you have source 1, source 2, all the way up to source, in that one, 5 or 6.
Wow.
In this Rodecaster, there's only 4. But multiple sources into a singular, that you each source you can also tune, right?
Right.
As far as gain. And that one's 32-bit flow too. This Rodecaster is not. So you have to be more on point with your level.
You need it to be right.
Yeah.
As
for
right
live,
as it can be.
especially for live.
Right.
You know,
So then you need somebody at the desk listening, and you're only any of those. Let's just say there's the bride, right?
Yeah.
Because her mic is probably going to be in her dress somewhere, where the groom and the officiant, they're usually on the outside, right?
mhm.
Like they clip it to the
Right,
outside, so it's more exposed. It's more likely to get better audio. So then hers, you might need to tweak. And the only chance you're going to have to tweak that is live.
Or like the few minutes before she's getting ready to walk down, right? And you're kind of like, a lot of times you already mic them up before they actually,
Right.
in the bride's case, before she even makes the walk.
Right.
So you
She
can
might
kind
be
of have
talking
the
to the
chance
coordinator.
people are talking to her. She's
Yeah.
probably talking. You can hear if it's ruffling or if her necklace is hitting it. So there's that opportunity there. And there's also, it's always like one of these things where you're like, give this up to get that, because you could just use those nice, I forgot what they're called, but like they're basically felt patches that stick to the body.
Right.
So you can put it under this shirt. I mean, if you're on set, you've probably seen like that version of it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's hidden. But now you have to ask the groom to
climb
unbutton
in
his
there and
dress
get it,
shirt, take his
yeah.
vest off, and I'm like, hey, bro, take off your clothes real quick. Let me take this on your chest. It will look cleaner.
Yeah.
And the sound is actually really good. I've tried it with the F2s, actually.
Really?
So that's a great option. But again, you're live streaming.
You need to
So-
get in, and then when you're pow, you need to get out.
Are you going to do that? Like, you couldn't do that with the F2 because you can't monitor that real time. It's a
Right.
set and forget. It's great.
That's
at
for
it.
later. That's for later.
But-
That's
and
for
that's
the,
for your-
the video
Your
edit.
traditional videographers.
Correct.
What you're doing in streaming is I need that real time. I can't see the mouth like this and then hear it half a second later.
Right.
So you're attacking this huge problem. Huge. I also see there's a lot of room for potential.
Exactly. There is. If you can sort it out, then
Yeah.
you can come to somebody and say, "Hey, look, this is what I can produce," and they're like, "All live? How do you do that?"
Exactly.
You're like, "Well, I got you."
Let's look at my B&H order sheet. and look at, you know how many
Look at my
months-
wallet. It's
yeah,
empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, let's assume that you get over this hurdle, right? The audio hurdle.
Okay, but we're not over it. So what you said, let me
Okay,
interrupt
okay,
you
go for it,
real
go
quick
for it, go
because
for it.
we still have to we should figure this out. And I
Okay.
think we can. So you're saying, which is obvious, but you need to have the same, let's just say the Rhodes. So we have Rhodes in this camera and Rhodes in this camera. So at least we have that.
Yeah.
Whatever, they're going to sound slightly different because I have 2 different cameras. So the preamps are going to be a little bit different, but I can test that before.
Mm-hmm.
And then they should offer the same latency. It should be the same. It should,
Yeah.
So I should theoretically,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll have 2 cameras that have 2 microphones each,
Gotcha.
and then the receiver, and they just go through the HDMI, which
Yeah,
is perfect.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then you
yeah.
can also monitor that through the ATEM or the Yellow Box Pro. But the other one, I do have cables to plug directly into the ceremony speaker. So then when you do that, you run that speaker, the cable directly into the line in or the mic in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can change the latency depending on what kind of cable you're using or how
Right.
long the run is.
Yeah.
But let's say we get everything right. Let's say we do that 6-second delay and the audio is all correct. Whenever that sounds too easy. Like, oh yeah, well, their mic's going to cut in and out. Maybe the roads cut in and out. How you cannot guarantee good audio on a live stream, basically, with wireless, because it happens. That's what happens. It, and you're just like, oh, this is perfect timing. The valves,
Yeah, perfect time not to hear what they're saying. That they pay me to capture them.
Do you take this? And do you?
Oh man, you know what? This is the Nobel Peace Prize of videography. If you figure this out, you're getting that prize. Because
I just feel like I don't have a safety though. That's the thing. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna do an out. We're gonna do an out from the speaker to the ATEM, but that should probably go to a some type of recorder, right? So it can record it also, and then it goes into the ATEM or whatever, the YOLO box, whatever, right?
I would say the speaker would be like level 2 or 3 of the redundancy or like fail safe. Level 1 should be what you fully control, your gear, your mics, your mixer, right? So you can control it. Even if it's your 4, like you said, 4 Rode mics, lav mics, they're yours.
Right.
They're set up. So you can really control that, barring any other kind of like interference or anything. But you're more or less, you got 4 of your own gear at the altar.
Okay.
So even if bride's one is like bugging out, maybe the officiant or the groom's one can still catch a usable audio.
Right. So
right,
then
for the stream.
So then what if we run, instead of running the audio via HDMI, we run the receivers into the Zoom recorder that then goes into the ATEM or the YOLO Box Pro?
Exactly. So you have a sound mixer.
And then it has 32-bit float. So it's like, okay, if live, it still isn't super cherry.
You go and clean it up in post.
In the post. And with that 32-bit, you have...
And just like the ISO, the ATEM ISO, you'll get each input separately.
Right.
And you'll get the master. And well, you go into file and you go into settings. You'll get like a
you
program.
You can separate them. Yeah.
Like the ATEM Mini's program, like the mixed version.
Yeah.
On that F6 too, or F6, the Zoom F6 as well. You'll have the master, or I think they call it mix output, and then you'll have input 1, 2, 3, 4, or how many ever you have.
Right.
So you can really go in. All the bride's one was really bad during the ceremony. During a live stream, I delivered.
Right.
You
can't change
30
that.
Audience members experience it too. But
right.
as they do, even with like traditional
in
like,
real life.
Yeah, when the mic. How many times have you been at a ceremony and like something happens and you just hear a bunch of crackling in the speaker?
Oh yeah.
Some kind of weird hissing.
Yep.
Or even just it doesn't work. It's real spotty. This happens all the time.
Right.
Especially here in Hawaii where you got a lot of outdoor venues.
Yep.
Helicopters, beach, waves, wind, tourists. Like it happens live. But you're offering that opportunity to then clean it up as well. Should this might be an add-on? I don't know.
I think that service, I think it should just be, because of the possibility of it happening in that it's live stream, I think the package needs to change. I think my package needs to be, you're not getting 3 camera service. We're bringing 3 cameras to the venue to make sure that you have coverage. Things happen, What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring a package to give you a cinematic, like live stream, but stuff happens. And we're going to still have you covered because in post, we're going to provide you with a fully edited ceremony
and
as well.
Because you have the Mini, post could literally be an hour later if you just put the program file that comes out of the ATEM.
Right, and then throw the audio.
Switching A, B, and
right,
C.
Exactly.
So they could actually have a real quick, this is literally a same day edit.
Right.
It's just non-traditional, like it's not screening at the reception, although you could if you wanted to throw that in there.
Right.
But it's, I don't know,
like hey, you want to watch the ceremony again?
Yeah, like you were just there 2 hours. No.
Get out of here.
But at least you could have it for the remote guests, which is why a lot of people will come to you.
Right.
Hit contact, go to it, make an inquiry.
Right. So if there's an issue with the live stream, they can still watch it. I think that was the case with this last one too. She was like, "Well, how soon can you have it?"
So tell us the reaction. The bride, like if you want to know, oh shit, what did the bride say?
So So I had walked up. So I know the coordinator. You know, we know a bunch of them, right? So I walk up to the coordinator and I'm just like, she was like, "So how did it go?" And I'm like, "It was a fail. The live stream portion of the service was a complete fail." But I went ahead and recorded everything with the 3 cameras, and I'm going to provide them with an edited ceremony video. And she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Well, let's not bring this up to her right now." And I'm like, "I agree, like we're going to make it right, whatever we need to do, we're going to make it right." So I'm fine with that. So I walk back and I start cleaning up my stuff. She walks over to me, and not like all like, "Yeah, just got married, let's do our sunset photos, let's eat,
No.
drink." No, no, no. It was very just like melancholy. She walks up and she's like, "Hey, I heard some people couldn't view it, the live stream." And I was like, "Yeah, that's actually unfortunately because it didn't work." I said, "I've tested this location multiple times, and I've checked. I've tested at Lu'ulu 10 times, maybe. To guarantee. I wouldn't. Okay, let's just put it this way: I would never have offered a live stream service to a venue that I haven't tested and that it worked, and that I had good, strong signal that could produce what it is that we're looking to do." And that day we did not. So I let her know. I said, "Look, what happened was I said that. That's what I said. Yeah. That was it. I said that, and I was like, "Unfortunately, this is what happened." I was like, we're like, I'm going to make I said, I'm going to edit the video for you and I'm going to provide that to you. I still recorded the whole thing, and I'm going to get that to you. And then everything else we could sort out. We'll figure it out later. I was like, I just, I didn't want to say, "Oh, I just want you to have a great evening." Or it's like, well, I didn't have a great time right now, but I just tried to be respectful. I tried to be transparent, and I tried to let her know that it's not all lost. It's not all gone. She didn't have a video team. She didn't have a video team. She had a live stream, or she hired a live stream, which was me, and she had a photo team.
Okay.
So we're going to give her something that she didn't know she was going to get. She was going to get a recording. The live stream service offers a recording of the live stream, but stuff happens during live stream that maybe the focus was off and I couldn't tell. Maybe I would have stayed on this camera instead. Oh, like somebody shook and they shouldn't have. I would have switched to that camera. So they get the straight up live recording. The other recording, and that's at 1080. The other recording, a fully edited one, it just gives you all the meat and potatoes. You cut out all the extra stuff. You make it as good and clean as possible, and you make it look nice. It's definitely different, and it's in 4K.
Well, see, a couple of things I thought of right there. One is the level of the way you handled it, right?
Tom said it was good.
Tom did say it was good. Because after he was like, actually, because that was my first question. What did the bride say? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, coordinators are great.
I mean, that's as scary as it gets.
What does the paying client say when the promise isn't fulfilled? The way that you handled it is a way that I feel I would like to be handled as well. If I pay for something and I don't get it, I want to. Sure, there's all the other ways you can approach it. I think it depends on your personality as a person.
Right.
But to have it explained in a way that you did, which is it's not like you're dodging responsibility, and it's also like you're laying it out in a very easy to follow way. I tested it. There's a 1 in X chance that one happened today, and it's not like a end of the world situation. The way that you ended with, you're still getting something which she hasn't seen, and actually we'll take a look at shortly here. And for us as vendors, videographers in the wedding industry, we know the possibility of this is the day of, and then what's going to be delivered.
Right.
We can bridge that gap. For a lot of people, they can't. They only see the videos that are posted on their friends' accounts or if they YouTube it. They don't really see the whole process of it. So I'm confident in that she'll get something that is on par, if not above average, of what the industry standard of a ceremony edit is.
Right.
However, the promise was a live stream. So yeah, you acknowledge that. And then I think there will be sort of a pleasant surprise silver lining thing
I hope so.
coming out of it, as well as when we got to kind of address the expectation of what is live streaming anyway. Like there were 30 people, right? You said
There were 30 people
guests
in the room that wanted to see it. Yeah.
So, and then the fact that she came up to you after probably family portraits, and then she's like, before sunset, hold on, let me talk to this guy. I've already got like 5 text messages saying like,
it didn't work,
whatever, you know.
and she paid for that.
Yes. And there is that kind of like, well, they're not kind of, there is that, what am I getting that she's coming at you with? And so to the way you broke down, like what happens in a live stream and then what you can get from it. Again, there's a side of it where we are as the creators, and then there's a side of it where you're consumers. I think as consumers, you're very used to live streams, especially with live sports, for example.
Right.
You have multiple cameras, multiple angles, and you have voiceover narration from, you know, people in the box office, and you've got a mic that's in the crowd so you can kind of hear reactions.
Oh yeah.
So we're very, very used to it on that high level consumer level of
Right.
like, that's
People
what
don't-
live,
People
that's what
don't
live
realize
sports is.
what it is. They don't understand that
Yeah,
live streaming sports or an event isn't a production. People get paid a lot, and there's a lot of people involved.
The team behind, like,
There's
okay,
a team.
what is it? This weekend is UFC 280. It's no joke to live stream a pay-per-view, something like any event, period.
Yeah.
And so to be on the consumer side of it, and that's your expectation level,
Right.
I'm getting everything. I go to UFC 280. I go to a freaking NFL game on Sunday, and I go to this live stream and whatever. I go to this live stream. It's like you're thinking it's just going to be right there.
Oh, it's just like that.
In that same level.
And it's like, look, you've got your cell phone, and then you've got our system, and then you've got those. There's different grades, right?
I mean, show us. I think it's a good time. Like, show us the setup that you have.
Yeah, you want to see this?
Yeah, bring that bad boy on over here. Boom. So here is your live stream setup. This is one of
the cameras. Yeah.
1 of 3.
Yeah.
Let's break it down.
So this is the aisle camera. So basically we have it where we have a camera on the groom, and the altar, the arch. And then we have this camera and another camera facing the walk-in. So the bridal party is going to get caught with this and the other one.
Gotcha.
This rig here we have the variable ND filter.
Keep that shutter speed low.
Keep that shutter speed correct.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't have to. I think with a live stream, it makes it's bigger deal than when you're doing post-production video editing.
I would agree.
Yeah. So for the live, it's like this is getting sent to this, then from this to this, then from here to a machine, then from the machine to the internet.
Encoder,
yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff. So you want to keep all the numbers and the settings correct all the way through if you can. So this is a huge help with that. This is the Sony A7C. It's a full frame camera and a more compact body, which is great with the tracking focusing. And then what we have here is this is a 6-inch field monitor that.
So this is the one that you can charge with a USB as well.
Yeah. So this one we plug this battery in, and it powers the monitor and the transmitter.
Okay.
So now I don't have to mount this somewhere else. I don't have to mount it here, and I don't have to have another battery. This battery powers everything up here, which is really nice. So this is one of the cameras that we shoot with. Another one of the cameras is a Sony A7 III, which is a great camera. Has the same sensor as the A7 III, and it has a beautiful image, you know. And that's really what it was about. I just wanted to have good image and the dynamic range. You know, a lot of times when we're shooting weddings, we're backlit. So we need that dynamic range in order to recover, to be able to have to so everybody is in the right exposure, and if you don't have a big dynamic range, your sky might just be super blown out and then the person's dark. But with a camera with higher dynamic range, you're going to be able to make that gap a little bit smaller.
Get a lot more details.
Get a lot of
throughout the spectrum.
Exactly.
Also, I was looking at this thing. Yeah, this body it looks slimmer than is it slimmer than the A7 III or 4?
It is.
It is, yeah.
It's a little bit more compact. It's a little bit smaller. It doesn't have the viewfinder here. It has it here, but it has a full frame sensor and the color science on it. I really like.
Ooh, I like the swiveling of this right here too.
Oh, so this.
Oh, go for it.
All right, so check this out. This was weird when I was like, oh, it's broken. Okay, so this you just keep tight and it you just move it.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's meant to stay tight
You're
and
not
hard.
Here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
keeping that tension level just enough. Dope. And this side mount is for what?
This side mount is for vertical at the crib. Yeah, at my house whenever I want to shoot some stuff.
Vertical.
So, yeah, vertical shooting. I just take this off. I take the monitor off. I mount it here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take the camera and I mount it vertically.
I was wondering about that as well. Because you could have a vertical mount for IG Live if that's your thing. But another thing I thought was when you have this setup, and when you brought up dynamic range, it made me think about it, was the color profiles. And I know there's a lot of monitors like this out here which allow you to actually view the image coming from the camera and put a LUT on it. So is that another, I know that's another layer of complexity on top of this already complex system, but is that something that could be done where you're offering now, like, hey, look, you can also have this LUT on your live stream?
Actually, you probably can. Let's take a look.
Just because I feel like Sony's, a lot of them shine when you actually add some color correction to it.
Yeah.
To really make use of that 10 or 8. I guess you're using 8-bit, but
8-bit works.
If you throw on a LUT,
if your exposure, I mean, you can, if your exposure is right with 8-bit,
you're good.
You can still push it a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not like 10-bit, but you can still push it.
Yeah, you're still there.
For a wedding.
It's better than GH5.
Yeah, for a wedding, you can push it, you know?
Yeah.
You can push it. Let's see.
Yeah, I know that the Atmos.
Yeah, the Atmos. Let's do this. All right, so let's see. This one might not have it, but let's see.
Just another added value to the package, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could have, yep.
There it is.
LUT switch on, switch off.
See? Boom. Because this is transmitting from here, right?
So yeah, it goes camera to monitor, monitor to transmitter, transmitter to receiver.
That's receiver
connected to the
ATEM.
ATEM, yeah.
And then ATEM to the encoder. No, ATEM is the encoder.
Well, in my case, ATEM goes to a separate encoder.
And the encoder goes out to the world.
Correct. So
okay,
I'm gonna go look this up at home, but I'm pretty sure this can do that.
Dope.
Yeah. So that's another cool thing. So the colors will look how you want them to be, you know?
I mean, it's worth a try.
It's worth a try, and it's less work in post.
Exactly. The thing I really like about the promise of a stream and using, I mean, when I started with the ATEM is like, for me, specifically speaking, it's YouTube live streams, but decreasing the amount of time in post. So even if you shoot a live podcast, a live event, there will be that live version, but then you can go back and when you're dealing with multiple angles, it's like, actually, instead of that angle, there was a good reaction that I didn't catch at a listener. So I'm just going to switch to that angle right here.
Exactly.
Little things like that can kind of, I wouldn't say improve, but enhance the live experience in a very curated way, so that after, or that post production process is already like hugely done, but then it's just you're focusing on the little toppings.
Correct.
And then that becomes something that you can then multi-purpose across many streams, platforms, and all kinds of formats, tall videos, short videos, everywhere. You can just throw that all online and like shotgun blast your footprint everywhere. And so that's why I asked about LUTs.
Yeah.
Because now you kind of just one more step of like cutting out from post and baking that into the live.
Well, so the only way it'll work for this setup though, I can't put LUTs into the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I can put them into the monitor.
Yeah.
So the live feed, the live 1080 feed, I should say, will have the LUT. If we did a LUT, the live stream could have it. The ATEM recording at 1080 could have it. The 4K internal recording will not have it. But I mean, if you got it already, then you could just throw it on in post.
So this is recording internally to 4K.
Yeah, it worked.
And this also, you got the ATEM recording 1080 with the LUT. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
So this bride is gonna get.
She's gonna get
4K.
it.
She's gonna
get it. Yeah, she's gonna get
it. Yeah.
So this is the only downside to having this rig is when you throw it on a shitty tripod. And unfortunately,
this is pretty heavy too. I mean,
I know. I'm going to make some changes actually. So when you have this on a tripod, this monitor is awesome because it's bigger, you can see it. But when I hit record, it ends up blanking out the camera screen so I can only see it here. That's why I bought it. Because I wanted to internal record at 4K, because I found that when I set the camera to 4K, it's downsampling now to 1080. So it's a better quality 1080 feed now.
Yeah. Nice.
But I wanted that redundancy, I wanted to guarantee that I was getting something, so I recorded in this, and then you lose your screen.
It's always a give and take.
It's a give and take. Now, maybe, and that's because of the transmission. So when you do the wireless transmission and you're recording in 4K, you lose the video. So it is a little tricky. You got to figure out some things, you
lose the screen on the back.
You lose the screen. So really, you want to bring this down. You want to bring this down closer to eye level, actually.
It doesn't need to have this kind of profile here.
You don't need it to, you don't want to be looking up, because remember, you're extending your legs on your tripod all the way.
What if you put like this camera mount right here?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that big.
Right, but just stick it off the side.
But on the tripod. So the tripod's carrying this load.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So this will attach to the tripod just on one of the legs a little bit lower, and then you could see, and then you could kind of, do what you need to do. But
always a work in progress.
Always a work in progress. But yeah, I got to get new tripods, because that was a problem.
Wait, so Tom has pictures, right?
Yeah.
Does it have? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
They're all in there. And we got these amazing heavy duty tripods that have been, re-greased and re-siliconed up, and I thought were running smoothly, because otherwise I wouldn't have used them. And then day of, I went to go for a pan, and it was like, like it was like you couldn't use it. If you tried to move it, you couldn't move it, So that was a big one. So new tripods, for sure.
So a lot on the list of things to do, but also a lot of on the list of like, hey, tried it out. This works. Kind of, I feel like you came out of this situation with a lot of direction, as far as what to do, where to focus your money and your effort.
More money. More money.
Show us the case.
Yeah, let's check out the case. I feel like we got this.
Let's see the case that you built.
There she is.
ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. You should even call this a mini.
I know. That's weird.
But I like the compact nature. How does that bar hide?
Oh, so the bar, I made this myself, and I was like, man, how do I make this and just like get it done. I don't need it to be like this crazy setup. I just need it to work. So if the wind blows,
Oh,
it
okay, I see.
yeah, you just take it off and then you can close this.
Gotcha.
But yeah, some of these venues that we're at are just too windy, you know.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and went with the bar and figured it out pretty easily. But
Nice.
here,
Go ahead, show it off, man.
so here is one of the mounts that we put the transmitter and or the receiver on. So you open it up, and then you can just stick your receiver here, and then you have one on your side, and then I have one on my side, and then you just clamp. They're just there, you know. I have it where it's the channel that it's on. I think it's got like 8 different channels, so I can check camera 3, make sure it's on the right channel with the transmitter and receiver on the right channel together, and then same here and there. You know, you can monitor those things. I just found it was going to be easier, and then like I said, if I needed to move it, it's all coming with you. You know.
What are these USB ports on the side over here?
So those are for the internal and external fans for the
these
intake and exhaust fans.
Gotcha. So this is intake, that's
This is intake and that's exhaust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
What's this little thing?
That's a HDMI out that goes to the monitor. A little overkill.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, a little overkill.
a little bit,
But I mean, look at that cable. It's like the perfect length.
it is. I love that. I don't like spaghetti tables.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's
hard.
what's going on over there, but
It's hard. It's hard.
I love it's smooth. You've got it labeled here, groom aisle low.
Yep.
You got more buttons than you need.
Way more. Room to grow.
But
And then we keep a cable in here for charging this.
ooh,
Yeah.
tucks away nicely.
Yeah. Actually, we can also hang it over here. So
What's on the back though?
So the
that.
back side.
Yeah. By the way, what are these, like twist port things?
Those
that's
are like waterproof panel, like from a boat or something.
I was about to say that looks like it could go underwater.
Yeah. So back here, basically, instead of plugging and unplugging directly from the ATEM, these ports allow you to just use these ports instead. So I was just thinking, you know, instead of pulling it in and out and weakening the connection, you know, because I do it all the time.
No, that's true. So now these just correspond to each one of the ATEM input.
That's right.
Dang.
So yeah, it was cool. It was fun designing it. It's fun building it. I'm glad it worked.
Keep in mind, for those of you who don't know, Kevin built the bus that he lives in.
It's true.
So building something like this is light work.
It was fun.
I like it.
Yeah, it was easy. It was more research than anything, but yeah, it was really fun.
So each camera, well, actually, the camera input is actually coming through the wireless receivers that you have mounted on here.
Correct. And then they go into the HDMI.
So there's only 3 HDMI wires going in.
Just 3 HDMI wires going in, and then 1 HDMI going out into the encoder, and then 2 USBs, one for the SSD drive and one for the computer.
Dope.
Yeah, so that's that.
And then what else you want to show us?
And he brought all the gadgets. This is one of those cocoon things. I don't know if you've seen those before, but it's basically, it's a panel that helps keep your things organized. I mean, it's a little bit of spaghetti here, but what we have here is we have the power bank that powers the live view, which has an internal battery.
Tilt it up so that that camera can see it a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
We can actually put it like
Perfect.
this. So this is the live view. This is the encoder. So we have internet from these 2 dongles here and this router. And then this machine takes the internet from all 3. It bonds it together, which is going to make it a more solid and stable internet connection. That way your stream is stable.
So you're essentially taking 3 internet connections.
Yeah.
So if one is kind of bad, it can rely on others.
Correct.
Okay.
So you're taking 3, but you're making 1.
Oh, okay.
So in order to get a good clean stream, you need a steady bit rate. So you need a steady bit rate. So the day of, this was one of the problems actually. This usually gets 7,000 megabytes per second at Laulu in the front. And upload
7,000.
7,000. So that's,
dude, that's ridiculous.
That's 7 megabytes or wait, what is
7,000 megabytes per second.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because like a commercial like this place, this is a residential place, right? So we were on like 100. It was almost like symmetric, 100 up, 100 down. But the way they price it for like residential places like this, the highest I could get, I was like, I want the highest upload speed.
Yeah.
For my workflow, I need to upload a lot of footage.
What is it, 10,000?
So the best
or
deal
10.
I could get was 1 gig down, 500 up.
500
1 gig
up.
down, 500 megabytes per second up.
Okay,
and
so
I never reached that.
So, but 500 megabytes up is okay. So then these aren't megabytes. Then they're the little m. Then I guess basically how it transfers is the 7,000 is then 7. There's 1,000 of one into the other.
Oh, so maybe it's 7 gigs.
7 gigs. No,
that would still be ridiculously fast.
No, that's too crazy. No, it's like, okay, so what is yours? 500?
500 megabytes per second upload.
So that would be 500. Wow, that should be super crazy fast.
Well, they say up to. Every
Right.
time I do internet speed tests, the highest it gets is like 400, and maybe that's like 2 a.m.
Okay, so here's the thing. So like those numbers should be converted by 1,000.
Okay.
So this equivalent, if it's at 7,000, it's equivalent to like 7 megabytes upload, which is actually a lot.
Really?
It's actually a lot. Like you wouldn't want to try to do a stream with less than like 5,000 or 6,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
which is like 5 to 6 megabytes, or I don't know if it's megabytes, kilobytes. What is the the little m? What's the big M? I don't know. You know, but
it worked 10 times when you tested it.
It worked
right?
10 times, and I've got solid internet at 7,000 bits. Bits, you know.
And
so
I know, like, I'm familiar with this Ethernet cable. So this is a router. I get it. These two things. These are also like internet.
Yeah, these are like USB. Like, you know, back in the day, you'd plug that into your laptop and stuff. They're still making them.
So this is connected to all 3 of those.
Yep.
The power is here. I can see that is the power bank.
Yep.
Okay. And then from this, I guess, that's where the stream goes out of.
So the internet's going to go from here, and then it's going to send it to this. Okay. This internet, all the internet gets sent to this. This turns on, and then with an HDMI in right here, it's going to go from your ATEM to this. So whatever my program feed is from my ATEM or my YOLO Box Pro, it's going to get plugged in here. And then you're going to turn it on. Okay, you turn it on. Then I go on to the website from this place. Then I make sure it's going to the right destination. And then
is that where you type in a stream key?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which I already have. I already have all that set up. And then I'm able to send it, like it's already set up. It's like I could literally, if everything's working properly, I could have it when it's running and then hit another button and it goes live. Once this goes live and connects, then you go to your YouTube studio and then make sure you're live as well.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things, you know. And then like, what happened was we didn't get enough bandwidth. We didn't get enough bit rate on this thing. Game over. That was it. It was so, I'm still troubleshooting it. Well, I haven't started yet, but I need to. I'm not sure if the bandwidth was so low it wouldn't even send a stream out to YouTube, or if in fact there was something else that was wrong and it didn't go on. But 600 is nowhere near. That's nothing. That's almost nothing. You know.
So I'm wondering, was it then able to handle just, let's say, a single camera? Like, could it have done just a single camera?
Well, it is a single camera. It is whatever the ATEM is sending.
You're right. It's just one.
It's just one feed. One feed.
You're right.
So this failed, and it cost $500 a month. So, yeah. And my monthly subscription, my monthly subscription starts again tomorrow. So I'm actually wondering. I'm like, should I just cancel this and resort some things out? Because I actually have another encoder that I'm trying to work on and use and set up where it needs half the bandwidth. So it actually at 600, which is terrible, it still could have worked. Like, that's huge, but it needs internet. So I have to go to either T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, and at least I can test it out. But if I don't, and I try to use the cards that are in here and in here, I'm paying $500 a month for that to try to figure it out. It's like, that's crazy.
I mean, hey, it's that startup expense, right?
It's startup expense, but I'm trying to be strategic about it. Like, what if something's locked? What if these cards are locked to only work with, you know what I mean? Like,
another thing that I didn't know and I didn't see is that, so this has its own sort of portal account login that you have to go on what?
Monitor
on your
laptop.
On your laptop. So so then that laptop is also using this for Wi-Fi, probably more load on the system.
Yeah.
And then
you have to get to YouTube and log in also. And then if you want to monitor your stream, you can use your phone if you have service, or you have to use your laptop. Which
venue is notorious for not having service.
Right. So then you're using the internet again. So it's, it's heavy.
So, I mean, there's got to be like...
I've done it, though. I've done it. That's the thing. I've done all the tests. I did all the tests in order for it to work. And that's why we took the gig. And it failed.
Hey, there's no... It's like, I think of those memes, like the villain... what is that? The genesis story of a villain. Like, this could be the beginning of something really bad or really good. Yeah. I think... More than anything, though, it's like...
It was just the beginning. Good or bad, it's the beginning. Because there's no going back.
No, good. That's right.
It's like, it could have been, it could have been amazing. Well, what about the next one, though? What if you did
this happened earlier?
Absolutely.
Right?
It's a big pill to swallow, It's like ego, but it's like, that's what it is. If you can't take that, then...
And you can... Moving forward too, like how you already were considering about reframing the package.
Yeah.
What are you promising to fulfill? Right. What are you going to deliver?
Right.
That you can tweak and adjust to a way that's more favorable. Should this happen again, that you can account for it. You can work under the pretense that this is going to happen to, let's say, one camera, two cameras.
Right.
But at least you'll have the backup. And at least you already have the expectation set.
Right.
So that after the ceremony, if the bride comes up to you.
Hey, how was it? I heard it was... Okay.
You know what I mean?
Here, absolutely. The only thing is next time it has to connect. Because if you have a bad stream, that sucks. But at least you had the stream.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to stream.
Yeah.
And that to me... that's the worst part about it, right? Because you didn't even get, the person didn't even get to say,
stream.
it was a little fuzzy, or I didn't see it, or like, I could hear you at least.
It would have been better to hear like, there were some echo voices.
Right.
But at least
you literally have people standing by.
So all you saw was like 30 people waiting on whatever.
It wouldn't even go.
How did you know it was 30 then?
They told me. And other people told me. Yeah, if you went to the page where it was going to be, you could see that there were people in there. But they're literally just standing by.
Yeah.
And it's not working. It's not changing. They're just like, well, how long do we look at this?
Place at 4:30 and
all right, we got places to be, So.
And it's Hawaii time, so like if they're in the East Coast, they're like, man, it's late.
Yeah, it's like midnight over here.
I mean, geez.
What are these guys doing? Get their stuff together. But,
well, hopefully some of those people will see this and be like, hey, the guy tried.
Yeah.
The best. I mean, the fact that you've tested it says a lot. That you went back and tested it over and over and over again. It was that one of whenever times that it happened. Not only that, I mean, now let's check out the edit. I mean, let's see what
let's see what we
right?
got.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, so we had shaky tripods.
Yeah. Go ahead, list all the.
Yeah, we had shaky tripods. We had cutting in and out of audio. It almost sounds like there was only one usable mic.
Okay.
And that mic left whenever the officiant left, like when he walked away.
He still has it?
Well, no, like from the area. So like
gotcha.
we couldn't really use his, unless some audio genius can fix it, which I'm hoping for.
On Fiverr.
Yeah. So bad audio, bad tripods, and then it was difficult transitioning from saying, "Hey, I came here to live stream." Now we're going to just shoot it. So I have these rigs that are built up to live stream that are sending, the transmitters are on, receivers are on, ATEM's all set up, everything's going on, right? There's different things that you would do for video than you would for a live stream, For the live stream, I don't actually have to record the audio if I didn't want to, but my camera feeds and my audio feeds are only going to get recorded on the ATEM if the transmitters are working. At that point, I was like, dude, we got to turn all this stuff off because we need to make it as simple as possible and just hit record.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have those transmitters connected. Well, when you have the transmitters connected, it blanks out the screen. So there was just all sorts of stuff. We had a lot of obstacles to work with, to get around. So I'll show you guys the video.
Yeah,
and,
let's take a look at it. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
A dirty. Look how organized I am. I know you're already judging me. I would too.
Step one, organize your desktop.
Yeah, you can't see that and not be like, the fuck's going on in there?
At the same time, it's like, look at this fucking office. I know.
That's my brain. That's what my brain looks like.
We can do better.
Yeah.
But we're handling so much shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just a lot of stuff to handle.
You know where it is.
Right
That's
here.
all that matters.
Right here.
At least title your library, bro.
Dang. But the folder is already.
No.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go. See? I mean, already looks good.
All right. Let's just start by doing.
So you already edited it then. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty much edited. I don't know what's going to go on with the volume. Oh, I don't have any music yet though.
That's fine.
I was supposed to get some. Here we go.
So this is the walk-in on the shitty tripod is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wait, here we go.
This one worked. Yeah. That one worked. But
so
see, look, these.
Yeah, I got you.
When at different moments, it worked. That's the thing. There was okay, so for her walk, it did not work. Everything was chunky and shaky and
spotty.
Yeah. So I was like, we couldn't pan,
Yeah.
The blowing of the conch shell here in Hawaii has many significant cultural
I like this Kahu.
This guy.
Yeah.
Wonderful meanings. But the greatest will always be these wonderful words. That says aloha au iaoi au mauloa.
So his audio worked.
Sounds good.
Will always symbolize the intimate sharing of two lives. Yet you're sharing.
Yeah, focusing on her back.
Must never diminish, guys, but should always
I figured
the individuality
we could see him a little bit better for some of these shots.
You mean who, him?
For the officiant, since he's talking. Or should I have done the aisle shot for the talk?
I mean, this could be moved over a little bit, just like the last one. Like this. You could frame it, like move it this way a little bit more.
This one?
Yes.
Oh, squeeze
to close
them
the
in.
space between here.
Mm-hmm.
Even out the space between here and here. But I think that's more of a preference. It's not.
I see.
Because this is still, I would say.
I like the other shot, but with this one, I'm assuming what I was looking at was the foliage here and the foliage there.
Mm-hmm. Even this one, there's like more empty space here
Mm-hmm.
than there is here, and
Right.
the focus is really here.
Right.
So just
Here's a wonderful
So like you want them
pattern
in the center.
that is
yeah,
continually
like that's kind of, I get it, foliage, ocean, but you could still get it just a little bit like that.
Oh, you're saying move the camera angle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Instead of it being here, it should have been.
yeah. Because now we see more of him. I know he's talking,
Yeah.
but he's efficient.
Right.
This space could be closed up, and then there's a little more opening here, so we can see them holding hands a
Yeah.
little bit more. We can see a little more
Of him.
his profile face
Yeah.
too, and then them too. Like if they do look this way, just
developing. And you got to underline the word continually. As you know, it never happens overnight, guys. Will also grow.
but this is solid right here.
The shot with the
Yeah.
dress in it too.
This is solid.
So today, let your wonderful hearts
See, this guy's live streaming, but
He got it
hey,
to
this
to
shit
his
is too heavy.
Instagram.
be truly a refuge and also a safe haven for each other. Remember
Look at the
now,
sky. Got the
always
sky and
I-
everything.
That's a solid ass shot.
but also be open
And
to
in the
receive
4K, you
that
could punch
love
in
from
if you
one
need to.
another.
Yeah.
So let this wonderful sacred
I punch
union
in, though.
today be the catalyst
Oh, you already did.
that
Who was that?
transforms
That was one of the photographers, and there's no other shot.
I was about to say, really?
There's no other shot. You can look. Go back. You can look.
This one?
Remember now, always be
Okay,
generous
one's
in
moving.
expressing that
Oops.
Two are moving,
but also be open to receive that
and she's
love
gonna
from
walk in
one
front.
another.
Settling.
Be the catalyst.
We're just too
Ooh.
slow.
Well, here's a hack. Actually, no, you can't do it now. If you had, well, see, you weren't planning to shoot this way. So never
Right.
mind. I was gonna say this is an audience reaction shot, or
Mm.
if you had one of these angles, like that you couldn't see the efficient's mouth, then I would put it in. So even sometimes I'll go like fishing, like way, what's this? Like I have to find like for this is a perfect example. Like, oh shit, the only angle that's usable is the one that somebody walks in front of,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to run away to another safe shot. This one you can see like this aisle shot. You'll see. The
Oh,
official's
use it
mouth.
somewhere else.
This one you'll see his mouth, but sometimes like if it's a two shot of just a bride and groom, you can run away to just one of the two shots of them like reaction shots. Cover it up for future,
Nice.
because
Get those safe,
Yeah,
an
you're
extra
using-
safe shot.
you're finding a safe shot somewhere else
Right.
that doesn't break like
That's why that D cam always comes in handy.
yeah.
That love.
My bad. Wait, how do you do full page?
But also be open to receive that love from one another. So let this wonderful sacred union today be the catalyst that transform both of you into the expression of your highest self. Keeping in mind now, guys, that your love for each other today
That shot though,
No, hey,
that will always be
with the people, you know,
to learn from one another.
yeah, you can't get much better than that.
and they don't have video. That's the thing.
But don't forget to be that
They don't have video to look at.
so-
Like they're gonna see this and be like, "Bro,
This is the power of video, in my opinion. Voice,
yeah,
but also you'll notice that the bride and groom, as many, doesn't matter if you're doing like a Catholic mass or like Catholic mass is even different. That's a whole other beast. But a lot of ceremonies, the bride and groom are facing each other or they're efficient. So a lot of the time is their back is to a majority of their audience.
right,
And so seeing the audience, even if it's in this capacity, you can still see reactions
Yeah.
of like front row, mom and dad, whoever.
yeah." They're doing
Like,
something. They're doing.
that
They're shooting it. As
is-
weird as it is, it's 2022, and it's like no, they're showing their interest by wanting to record it. You know, it's like that's cool.
And they're not focused on that at this
right,
moment.
right,
So when they see this, it's kind of like they get that added like level of detail or like experience that photos can't.
right.
We just got that one up on photos in that point.
Right.
Like you can see if people move and talk and well, I guess not too much talk, but if they laugh and stuff, I just
guys that include some
you can't beat it.
okay, once in a while. With the
Like
laundry.
even that, just having the
Little foreground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Trish. Okay.
like this
What about
too.
this thing that
Yeah.
we call
I like that.
I do too.
See, this angle is a little bit.
once in a while with
I don't know if you moved or what, but this feels
Tom
more.
was, but it was a little
This feels
tighter
more
now.
balanced.
Yeah.
Like the space here and
Mhm.
here, the space here and here, just everything's a little bit more balanced.
I think it's composed nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
She looks great too.
this is great. The full body down the aisle.
When I saw the dress, I was like, we got to do full body.
Oh yeah, you get some flowers in the aisle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Things in a marriage, you'd be surprised on what it can do to strengthen it. So don't forget those small
I already worked on the highlights, bringing the highlights down a little bit.
Yeah, you can see some details right there.
Yeah.
Sony.
Patricia, would it be okay if I give him some pointers?
That's that full frame.
See, like this. You're in the moment. You're still thinking about your vows. You might not have fully been there
Yeah.
when he did this. So like all of this,
Yeah.
that's part of the ceremony.
And
And you
this
got it.
seems completely uncomfortable. Like if I was getting married,
What is that?
I think it's something for the flowers.
Oh, it's not you then.
No.
Okay, I was like, I'll get rid of that. That's
Yeah.
florist.
Want to go out with her girls alone, which means you can never tag along with them. See, bro, that means you can never take a picture of her, put it on Facebook, Instagram.
So I went to this camera because he's directing it towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Each other, wondering where she's at. See, that's a no-no. But you know what
This
the
shot's
biggest
prettier.
no-no of all? You can never do a TikTok
She's,
video.
you know,
See, that's the biggest no-no. But you know, guys always had that two-way communication and always share with each other. Trust is a wonderful thing. Just knowing how to trust each other's ideas, no matter if they're funny
it's
ideas
cool because
or
it's still
ridiculous
filled,
ideas.
you know, like look at all this, like where is this? This looks crazy. It's beautiful.
Love itself, it never fails.
Palms over here, ocean moving in the background.
No, this is your destination
Look at
wedding.
this.
Yeah, this is
Look at
it.
this shot.
This is it.
But you know, if it ever does happen, you two, remember to always.
I want to go fishing over here, by the way.
We need to do.
Let's
I
make
already.
that- let's
I
make
brought
that
it
happen.
up to
You did?
Nikki. I was like, "Hey, I wanna. We should go fishing camp in the
Yeah,
front.
let's
Maybe
go.
barbecue. We bring steaks. Freaking use the
yes.
grill.
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't know if it's considered camping anymore, but you're like, we got a big ass barbecue
Borderline,
pit. Yeah.
yeah.
We camp. We sleeping in the sand. You know.
An extra one. What I've noticed
This guy
in my own
cracks me up though,
there were
bro.
times I had to
Sometimes I'm like, yeah, and then other times I'm like,
But this audio is coming from his the Rode or the Pico.
One of them.
Okay.
how do I find out which one it was,
Well, you would have to know, like,
which camera it had it
yeah.
on? But I put 2 on him.
So wait, right now, he has a Pico and a Rode. She has a Pico. He has a Rode.
Correct.
So
And that's the 4.
that's the 4. And I'm hearing all of those right now.
I don't know.
Or maybe
I
you
don't know. That's
selected-
what we can look
okay.
at. Actually, you might even be able to.
Yeah. Well, because I don't know what camera you did set it up on, but if I look at here, like the multicam.
Well, the thing is these things are under C3, C5, and C142, so I don't know either.
All right. Well, I've labeled my camera files appropriately. So like,
Yeah,
even if I
that's
see
what I
the
need.
file name, I know it's camera A, B, or C, and then you would know I put the Rode on A, the Pico
Correct.
on whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I see you have. Oh no. What's this first angle right here?
So that first angle, for some reason,
Oh, I
was
see.
only for the walk-in, and then it stops.
Oh, it's actually the same camera right here.
Yeah.
The file name's telling me that, so you could just drop that down. But you already edited it, so I won't touch anything. And how long is this?
Bro, he talks.
He did.
So
And
let's.
how do you wrap it? Just the exit.
Oh, the exit was terrible, but
Oh, well, see here. You got
okay,
the
yeah.
valves.
Get
Let's
in
check
the valves. Get into
Yeah,
the
that-
valves. You got to get his though.
Alright, maybe to your stud.
yeah. Okay. Ring.
But his, he did his first.
Oh, he did his already?
Yeah. So you got to go.
My bad. Oh, yeah, okay. Here we go. Ooh. Is that the audio you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, here.
Here we go.
Have your personal boss see your bride.
Oh, I see. So he walked away?
He walks away, and I don't have that mic.
So Efficient walks away with the usable mic that we've been hearing up till now. So we're going to get a change in mic. He holds this mic, but you don't have the output for this mic, right? Going into the speakers of the board there.
Well, there was none because I'm
okay.
going. I would have needed a recorder,
Right,
which I
right.
don't even own yet.
I can give you my old one, H4n. You could just plug that in to the speaker. Like you just need an XLR.
Perfect.
And then you have a backup
Yeah.
for this kind of situation.
right.
Yeah. Remind me. I don't use it.
Thank you. So when you listen to all the audios, you'll hear there's some that are going.
What is it coming from? It's coming from her Pico. It's got to be coming from something. We can hear what he's saying.
I think at this point I have all three going and cranked them.
But he's wearing 2 mics, though, right?
Yeah, and no. He's wearing one. I doubled the officiant.
My bad. I would double the groom.
Because he's closer to her, and
Well,
she's never
'cause
gonna
for this
leave.
exact reason.
At least I would have had one
like,
more.
I mean, before even, during the briefing process, you're always like, do you have, that's one question you ask.
I asked them
Do you have personal vowels?
when I first did the contract, all that. That's one of our questions.
Yeah.
She said no.
But see, day of, just confirm again.
Day of.
Shit changes.
Yep.
Right?
And I like it when they do it. It's
I'm
nice.
going to walk in with someone else. Like, so that's why day of, when you're miking her up, ask her again.
Yeah.
Do you have personal vowels? Because she'll know at that point.
Right.
But general rule of thumb, you always want him to the groom. Only exception I could think of is like Catholic Mass, how we're talking. As a different
Because they're
beast.
not even gonna say anything.
Just say one word for in an hour or something.
Yeah.
But
Then you
okay.
double mic this podium.
Yeah. So where is this? Oh, I see. This is the audio file you're using here, which is coming. Look, it's only coming from this C0005.
I think I just cranked it on that one.
So it could be something else too. Like, did you try this one? That sounds like it could be hers. Oh, there's nothing on that one. What's this one?
Guess the plan is showing me work. We're starting to go on little.
Dude, there it is. This is his.
First net, I just thought you were.
I would.
But do you hear all the?
Yeah, it does sound.
And that's at 12 dB. I have it turned up all the way. So what happened there?
Here.
How is it? Did I not turn up the level enough on either the camera or the microphone?
Hold on. Start on the audio meters on the side here, and then we're like working like this. Let's see.
First net, I just.
So it's also picking up 2, right? So that would tell me this is what C214. See, so that's this file. Let's find the part where he's talking in this file. Let's just monitor it too. Right here. So it's like this section is him and her actually. So here is where he starts speaking. I'm just gonna break it up so I don't change the whole file. So right there, if I just listen to it, let's turn that one off for now. Look at that.
Apparently, I wasn't really good. But I guess the plan is showing me work.
Oh.
We started to go on little secret things
I see.
at school. So it was like every time your name was brought up.
To me, that does sound like the connection between the road
And the
and like
lab.
the lav cord that goes into it, or he's just wearing a maile. So maybe it sounds like
Something's
physical,
hitting.
like something's hitting the wire or the. Oh no! Yeah, like it's coming in and out like that 1/8 inch jack is being, because when you hear it, it's good, but then it sounds like that good. It goes from good to bad, good to bad, good to bad.
It could even just be the cable itself that's just crunchy sound too.
Wait, also, let me see if we can do a mono on that bitch.
I think they all needed to be dual mono.
Just because then over here it's going to be equal. But also with the dual mono, you can then select which one you want to hear. So maybe one of them is good. Okay, not that one. Let's try to listen to this one.
So the Rhodes,
Yeah, I see what. So
those failed me,
so like if this was in a live stream, I would just accept it. Oh, it's a live stream.
Right.
After the fact delivery, then it's
Just looks like you're giving them shitty audio.
But I mean, the way you, I might almost
Wait,
just
what is
use
that?
hers. Yeah, like whatever this audio is, which is, oh, it's kind of like all of them, but at least it's not push up to 12 decibels, right? That sounds a little.
Which one is that?
So that's on this. Look, it's selecting all of them except. So this one, and this.
So that's what I had it at, I think.
Yeah, this is the one that I changed. It was at this one.
Mm-hmm. So 5 it was
CO
the officiant.
It was at that. So
That's
this
crazy.
is what it was, but also it's at 12. So just bring that bitch down, or even just
That sounds better.
don't even play that one. That's
No.
kind of weird.
So then should we bring the audio of the officiant down altogether? So then if somebody plays it, then it's more even, or?
Yeah, that's the question then, right? Well, let me hear her vowels. Is it
All right, you may now present the ring on.
so for this?
All right, up maybe to your stud.
It's probably still picking up the shitty mic. Which one is efficient?
5.
5. So like, if we just hold on, what am I doing? Before anything, I'm just gonna duplicate this so I don't fucking, that's that's the one you did, right?
Yeah.
So this is the one that we can like play around with. Kinda do.
All right, young lady, to your stud. I pledge my life, my love to you.
He's like
from
super
this
loud.
day forth.
Well, right now he has to project to everyone there, because he's not holding the mic now.
Mm.
So that makes sense. Like people there are hearing her in the mic and him in person. But if you want to use his mic for this part when she's repeating after him, then you just got to manually go in here
And do the dots.
and do
Bring
the
it
anchor
down.
points between each one. But what's her Pico is connected to which one of these?
3, I think.
So let me just try. Bring in. So she's on 3.
I think so. Or is that like an on camera?
Sounds like it. Yeah, this is like an on camera right here.
How did this?
Wait. Yeah.
So then why? How are the other how are they not? It's like
Maybe-
hers isn't connected.
Maybe one got disconnected
It might have
amongst
been.
the chaos of, all right, bail on the live stream. We're
Right.
recording this regularly. Take all the hassle.
Maybe we didn't
Hasselband.
use 2
Not
of the
Hasselbands.
roads.
Maybe when you're taking off the wireless transmitters and monitors because you didn't need that. Somewhere
But the
in
Pico
mix.
has 2 and the Rode has 2. So it's like.
Yeah.
But
You-
it sounds like there's only 2 audios then.
It sounds like, yeah.
And then one's an on camera.
So probably the Pico's fucked up.
Yeah,
If I had to
one of the
bet- if I had
Picos
to bet-
dropped.
Well, both, because a Pico would be on her too. So we should get a good bride audio.
Right, but what if the her Pico dropped? It got disconnected. Because I saw something fucking around on the Pico.
So there's a signal coming in when she's talking, like because you can monitor, you see the.
No, I mean like a connection issue.
Oh, just like his earlier.
No, like on the Pico, you could see if it says
Oh,
connected
gotcha.
or not
Yeah,
connected. Yeah, something was going on, and I'm like, dude,
That's
what
why I
the
don't-
fuck?
Yeah. So so I'm thinking the best audio is efficient, right?
Right,
So what is he wearing? Well, he's wearing both of them.
right.
So that means one of the bride or groom should be equal to that good part of the efficient. In my
Right.
head, I'm thinking, right?
But that's
so
what I thought we
far-
were doing because I put the
Ye-
Pico on her, so I
Yeah.
guarantee her Pico messed up. So we might only have 2 audios.
5 is him. So this would be groom's.
Yeah.
So let's see. She's facing him. So
See if we can use
but
it.
let's just hope it's not fucked up like before.
Maybe to your stud. As a token of my love,
It's still kind of jumpy and
I pledge my life, my love to you, from this day forth. All right, you may now present.
at least for that, it's salvageable.
Like just use it.
For her when she's repeating. He's gonna be yelling He's yelling.
Yeah.
So you could use this one for him and just bring those levels down, like fucking down here or something.
My love to you from this day forth.
I mean, that works.
Yeah, and then you would just have to. I would go in with the endpoints or the anchor points, and every time she's talking, I would keep where it's at, and then when he's talking, I'll just lower it in this file. That's what I want to hear from this audio file. So I'm going in there and going like this: yelling efficient, mute, yelling efficient, mute, boom, like that. See the tedious process, but at least the audio info, the WAV file is kind of easy to. I know where to go in and out, so I know I'm not gonna want to hear that there. And then you could do the opposite on this side. So you could do this too on her. So even on his mic, whatever she's saying, I'm gonna kind of up.
Of my love, as a token of my love,
See what I'm saying? So you're getting this bottom file is like the weird mic, glitchy.
Yeah.
So we're still hearing that, but it's actually coming from his mic that was glitchy. Then on this one, this audio file, we're getting the efficient mic, but because there's such a huge gap in like his volume and hers, we're gonna bring it up a little bit on here.
Okay.
So it's just super.
So
tedious.
I just need to go through that. But then what about when she reads her vows?
So yeah, what's that?
Oh, is this his vows?
I just separated the audio from.
Oh,
there.
that is okay.
So this is the audio for this
Okay.
video. I just separated it. So like this, if I wanted to, sometimes I'll separate it, because then I can like double it up.
Duplicate
I
it.
could say use this audio for this one, and I'll double it, use this one for that, and then I'll go in and fine tune like this.
Nice.
But if we just look right now, it's on the same C2142.
That's his.
It's the same as this one, right? It's his. So
I think it
should
probably
be
usable.
So,
How do you?
but at
is
this
that
point,
even fixable?
At this point, so I would. Okay, so we know that's her, but I'm gonna him. He's off to the side, right? Efficient.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm still picking
So
up
there's
some of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably just off to the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's see where he is.
He's like behind
is, see?
him.
Where's he? Oh, he's over there.
Yeah. He's not
Okay.
that close, but somehow.
I see.
Can we bring that?
He's
Can we use that,
behind.
but bring down that background?
So, yeah, like so. If this is efficient's mic here. I mean, this. You see, you're at the mercy again of him like coughing or him like talking to some kid or you know what I mean. Like if he
Right.
talks, we're gonna hear it. He probably won't because she's inefficient. He does this and she's saying her vowels.
Right.
But I would bring the volume on the default or like the spotty mic down, and then lean more on this one and see how much you could do as far as if you go and this is one of the limitations of Final Cut Pro versus like using Premiere, because then you can use Audition as well. I'm not sure as far as like DaVinci, how deep their sound engineering, sound editing goes. I know their coloring is great, the best, but for us in Final Cut, you have options here, voice enhance. You have options here. If you go, not that one, here in audio, you can go to like, if you just noise reduction, denoiser. So like you could try these to a certain degree, but then you don't want it to go too much. It might sound too Frankenstein-y. Like if you just see how it's like, what? Are we in an airplane?
I was thinking the same air show.
So then, you already did denoiser. You tried that noise removal or no?
Maybe.
You did an equation voice, or I just did that, the voice enhance. But for
I think
put it down.
I think there's an actual EQ where you can change different
There is. You know, there's
levels.
There's this YouTube video that I gotta send to you. Guy takes like shitty room
noise.
audio recording,
Yeah.
and then he turns it into something pretty usable.
Hmm.
Now it wasn't beach
Yeah.
mic 10 feet away from the source type, but he went deep. He went deep into the equalizer, and he went into like the noise gate and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's worth it for this, for her vowels.
For her vows. Do you think they're
I think I think his are Actually,
His are
yeah,
good,
Yeah,
or his are
Just-
done. Just leave it,
I would.
or try to bring that background a little bit down.
This I would 100% Fiverr this. Like I said,
This one,
both of them. I would send this file right here to. You know what? It might even help to send a video as well. Export this as a video. Export this as an audio. The video will have the audio anyway. I know you can't export it as like WAV file. See, you go there, audio only.
oh, I can.
WAV.
Oh, but I thought the better one was AIFF or something like that.
Is it? Maybe.
It's a higher.
This is where you would pick it, right?
You got audio only.
Audio only,
Okay.
and then pick your own.
AIFF, yeah.
AIFF.
So supposedly that's going to be a bigger file. Let's check real quick though. That's 92.8. And what is it?
That thing don't.
It don't move.
I mean, no, it'll say even for video, if you're like 82 gigs, and it's like 8. So I don't trust that until I actually export it. But either way, it's a
well,
light
people
file.
say that AIFF is supposed to be a bigger, better file, like a raw
Oh, okay.
compared to M4A or whatever.
Definitely better than what is it?
M4A,
MP3.
MP3.
I don't even know these other
So
ones.
what's WAV? WAV is a larger file.
I know when it's WAV versus MP3, take the WAV.
Okay.
Even on all like the royalty-free sites,
The music, yeah.
they'll give you a WAV or MP3. I always take the WAV.
Okay.
I would just make one folder that has a WAV, AIF,
Yeah.
what was that? AIF, and then the video too, because then it helps. There's more information for them. You're not asking them to like edit a video, but you're giving them context so they can. Oh, they're on the beach, and it's him, it's her.
Right.
I
They're
can
going to say,
kinda
oh, we
see-
don't want to remove it.
I
Or
can
we
see
do.
where
or-
that guy is. It's probably his mic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So a little more informed decision on their part, and then they can go in. And I would seriously, I do this all the time on Fiverr. Is I do the same job with multiple people,
And then
multiple
who
sellers.
do you pay?
but all of them
Oh, okay.
cost of business.
Yeah.
So because then I know like people have different deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
People have different
Taste.
as far as like edits. You can
Yeah.
you can request this many edits, and obviously skill.
Yeah.
So the
And you
same
don't know.
file-
You
yeah,
don't know.
you don't know. So just make one Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever file that has all those files in there, and then in your project requirements, you're gonna just copy and paste that with seller 1, 2, 3,
I got them all right now.
and then just be like, help me out. They are gonna have different turnaround times, but when you get them, at least now you have 3 options.
Yeah. So from here, should we export this?
Yeah, I would export it already. Like boom. So this will be a wave.
That'll be the wave.
See, we'll
Just
just put
put
it in
in
this
there.
file
Yep.
for now. Bop.
And then we'll
again,
export it again.
settings, audio only, but AIFF.
Yep.
Boom. Yep.
And then
save
you were
that.
saying to
And then
also,
I'm just gonna give them the video too.
okay.
And then when this is finished, I would just put Val's reference video,
Okay.
just so they don't mistake it. Like, which one do I edit?
Yeah. And then what do I do for the efficient? Should I just say fuck it?
The efficient. The efficient's the best one.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I should just get this part done instead of like, oh well, let me give them. I don't want to like keep polishing the turd kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, I could send this off and they'll make it better, and then oh, we could do this and do that and do that. And it's like, bruh,
no. I mean,
we're on week 4.
Once you finish this, plug it into what you already have.
Yeah,
Everything you had up until the vowels was great.
right. His mic. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sufficient.
This is the only, but it's also the most important part.
Right.
So
How did that happen?
I w-
This is one of the major, bro. It was like, hold up. I
Bro.
got mics and they didn't work or they worked terribly. Like, how? We put 4 out there and only 2 worked. Like,
So-
only 2 of the 4 mics worked. That's brutal. And moving forward, how you were saying, oh, it sound like a connection issue.
yeah.
I can either record internally into the transmitter, into the transmitter, which I can now. It'll work. It should work now. I changed the setting, which I was thinking about making a vertical about or something. Like just put it out there, make it a short or a YouTube. Just I don't know. I'm like, this looks like an easy thing I could do and like test practice.
Do it.
Do it in a
Yeah.
video or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Be like, this was huge for me, and this is what happened. I was at a wedding, this and that,
Well,
and I have some reference.
I'll tell you what, all of
I
this,
don't know.
I'm going to send to my Fivers
And have them cut it
out
up.
there.
And,
They'll send back to me a bunch of vertical clips
Nice.
with captions on it. And I'll be sure. So in my notes, like how I just made a folder named Fiverr for you. In that folder, I'm going to have a document. On Fiverr, they have it in the website, so it has project requirements. But then, because I have some editors who also work remotely that aren't on Fiverr,
okay.
but I still make just one. Like this is a project folder. Inside, you'll find a document that's project requirements. Inside the project requirements, I'm going to say, this is the title. This is how many files are you going to find in this project. And then I'm going to write notes. Be sure to focus on the part where Kevin says, this is his biggest fuck up.
Yeah.
And then I want one short video that is a list of all his fuck ups. He does list it a few times,
Yep.
but then give me at least one short video that he's like, hey man, I fucked up A, B, C. So I'll write that. And then I'll say the rest, pull as many as you can from it.
Mm.
So you're kind of leaning on the discretion of whoever's editing. People literally, I don't know where they are in the world. I've never seen them face to face, but we communicate through, I guess, the language of business, right? And I'm saying, I need this. You can provide that. And so now it takes off a load for me in the post process. But again, the return is that now I have these, like you said,
These usables
that then show people what it is I do, and it's being humble too. Like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
These are my problems. These are the issues that I have. And you know what? Problems and issues really highlight a person and where they are. So your problems today, when you, in a year from now, you'll be like, oh man, I'm happy. That was my problem.
Yeah.
But then you have a different one.
And we did something about it. We're doing this. We're doing this. You know, we're like, when we were talking that first night, when it happened,
Yeah.
where you guys were fishing,
The wound was still fresh.
it was fresh.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, let's do something about it then, you know, because it's neat that we have this, we have these resources because instead of talking about what we should do, we're doing it.
Exactly.
Like, how many times can we say that? Oh, the garage. Oh, all the things in the bus. All, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's all these things we should do. And it's like, no. Well, now we're practicing, you know, what we're preaching and putting it into motion.
We are literally talking about it.
Literally.
But it's
And
that
doing it.
It's that review though.
Right.
It's that sort of
It's the breakdown.
debriefing.
Exactly.
You know, it's like you gotta
Exactly.
revisit and then strategize the next, because we game time.
Well,
this is the locker room,
exactly.
but we get back on the field
And then you go to practice. You go to
drill.
practice.
Yeah,
You know?
just focus on one part. How do I increase my my internet speed?
Yeah.
How do I freaking maybe move the monitor from on top of the body rig or the
To
camera
to the tripod. Exactly.
You know, it's
And when I'm
drilling.
I'm thinking about all these things. I've been thinking about it since that day.
Yeah.
Now I get to chat with you, and that's already invaluable because then I get direct feedback.
Yeah.
That's what
See,
we've been saying since the first time we did the podcast.
I mean, when we did the podcast
we're
in
gonna
the
have
dark,
to go live soon one of these days.
so
Like doing this,
that's
and
my
people are like,
problem.
"What?
It's
Who
like,
came
how
out
do I-
here?"
How do I turn this into that, like, live?
We just do it.
I know. Well, I'm talking to the guy.
Oh,
I mean, I think we were recording. And I was like, what is that YouTube box on there? I
yeah.
was like, piqued my interest because that's exactly what.
That's what this needs to be, and
Yeah.
then let it evolve, and then all these other things come through, and then you're gonna have to tell me how much I owe you for those clips. How much do those guys charge you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about Fiverr is you literally connect it to people around the world who can service you or
That's
provide.
something you can afford.
And you find so many different price points,
Yeah.
different levels of quality. Sometimes, like for example, like an hour-long podcast, and I'm like, give me as many shorts as you can from this. I've seen anywhere from $7 a video, $7 a short,
Okay.
to up to like $30,
Jeez.
up to like $100 for like a 20-minute podcast. I'm like, so the
Yeah.
range varies,
Right.
and of course the quality does too.
Sure.
Therein lies that challenge is again of like finding the right people.
All right.
And you know what? That's a problem that if your problem is finding the right people, that's saying that you're already at that level where you need to leverage other people,
Right.
which means you're growing. You're doing,
We're lucky we have Fiverr.
maybe you're biting on more than you can chew, but if anything, I'd rather do that wrestle a bigger problem that'll eventually be a small one day.
Yeah. You know, it'd be really neat is like, do you have an internet connection up here?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I mean, we could just connect it and then we could do that. Like we could go live. We should actually we should do that. Not now, but
That's the next one.
next one.
Let's go live.
Ah, shoot. Let's do it.
Live.
I was going to say, if you didn't, well, we could just use the live view and like put it through the paces.
Oh, yours?
Yeah. Like,
I know. Okay, no.
oh,
That's what happened.
yours, that one.
The one that fucked up.
The one that
The
you
one
are trying to use in your business. This honestly, this just makes me okay. So we went from I don't even think we went through everything, but I pretty much at the end of all of this, I'm just like, do I continue?
Yes.
Yes, of
My
course
vote-
you continue, but
Yeah.
do you
I think you-
reformat? Do you
I think you
do you
repackage.
adjust? Do you like what? What?
I think you keep doing what you're doing because I guess you could say I haven't delivered a stream yet.
Right.
So you want to at least deliver a stream.
Correct.
So you're going to keep grinding on that path, but I would just package it differently on that end of it. You're still doing what you're doing, just getting better and fine tuning. Keep the subscription, $500 a month, whatever. Get it to the point where you've delivered it. Like I think I told you that night. I was like,
No,
you do it 10
absolutely.
times
Like
when
you
you-
haven't even seen what
when
you
you've-
can do.
when you've delivered it like 10 times, then you can make a better decision.
But,
but-
go ahead.
But I
sorry.
would just say the adjustment now is when you're facing that next client. This client too, the way you say, hey, look, this is what happened. This is what I can do for you. And there's a lot of learning experience in that too. Her feedback the next time you talk to her
Yep.
and so forth. But just now, on the website, in your consultations, when you're talking with someone, you go meet someone, now this is in the belt, under your belt, and you can be real about it.
Yeah.
Front load it, like, hey, this is what happened. So if it should happen again, this is how I plan to react, and this is how it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
So that there's no surprises. You're not even worst case, you still know.
Yeah, you're gonna get this. Actually, the next client's gonna get one better than this,
That's what I mean.
right?
And if it, you know what, because it's accessible to you, it might take that one time where you might just need to do a freebie.
Oh,
or
for
two.
them? Oh yeah.
So you have a solid
Oh, yeah.
stream under your belt.
I'm going to refund these people because I just think that's what's right, and I was lucky that they wanted to pay for it. And then you kind of have this pride thing. You're like, man, I don't want to do it for free. I've been putting all this work in and this and that. But really, you're still in beta.
Very beta. Like 0 streams to your name.
Yeah.
So
Well, like 0 streams to what you're offering. Like doing it in your house doesn't count. You know what I mean? Like you don't have any of what you're actually offering. You know what I mean?
get the feel.
You got to do a couple for free.
Get those wins. Get the numbers in the win column
Yeah.
first. That's the entire focus. And like you're not far away. In fact, you're closer than most people wouldn't even try to do it. Let's put it that way. And then if they
For
try to
good
do
reason,
it,
huh?
and if they try to do it, it's with one fucking Canon 70D
Yeah.
with like a bunch of spaghetti hanging off a tripod.
Yeah.
Like it's not the level that you're already at. So just smoke the competition at this
Yeah.
point. Get those wins in the win column, and then
Push it.
be like, look, you see that, and you'll have reviews at that point.
Yep.
Just offer it, show them proof of concept.
Yep.
Then you're gonna your website's gonna completely look different.
Right.
Live stream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
It's
10.
yeah. I'm glad
Testimonials.
it's to where it's at now, but there's definitely going to be
Yeah.
some complete
That's how it is.
yeah, because it's not going to just be live stream. It's going to be live stream. It's going to be photo. It's going to be video. It's like this is what we're offering.
You're already doing live stream and video if you think about it.
Exactly.
Like being able to do this, you have the live version.
And the video.
Then
Maybe
you
I
have
don't
the-
even put photo on there. But
Then you have,
whatever.
let's say, that's the marketing part of it. You can
Right.
really think about how you want to market that post. You can be same day video, same edit, 5 hours later video, whatever
Right.
video, and you explain the difference. It's a bit more polished, blah, blah, blah. And then just throw in whatever. I mean, right now it's a lot of shorts too, right? You say, I I can cover. You're already considering paying $3,500-$4,000. That's like the average for an 8-hour video package. Compare that to what I'm offering,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, okay, just
Yeah, what you get for the price is like, even if well, that's the thing. Even if the live stream doesn't work and you get a full 4K edit,
exactly.
that's already worth that money. That's the thing. Like people charge. I think one of our friends charges $1,400 for just ceremony video with an edit, and it's like, that's cool.
That's what you did
Yeah, that's
Right?
what I did,
on.
minus having the correct audio.
Right.
But moving forward, that's going to be
Exactly.
corrected.
Exactly. So
Absolutely.
let's say, boom, the money's back to her. You still got one as far as in the trial bag.
Correct.
Boom.
And
You're
I
still-
can still use. I'm gonna pick it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
oh.
pick that audio to death and try to find the clips
that.
or cut it up. You know, oh, that audio worked here. We'll use it over there. You know,
That middle shot. You know what I mean?
So
that's
good.
a
That's
wedding
for
on the beach in
Laulu, too.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh,
they can run
100%.
it.
100%.
Yeah.
Then it just compounds. The more brides, the more couples, the more
Yep.
weddings, the more, and then streams.
Yep.
But then
It's almost like the stream itself isn't even like.
it doesn't feel like the cherry.
It
almo-
doesn't.
it
I feel
almost-
like the video
you-
and the content afterwards is
You're
the
a
cherry.
video company.
Yeah, I'm a video.
Part of
company.
that is you have the ability to stream.
Right.
But you're also offering, like in that example earlier, is like, okay, if someone's paying $4,000 for 1 hour coverage, or 1 hour technically, but
You're there for 3.
ceremony,
Yeah.
right? The deliverable for that for $4,000. Just think about it from the consumer's point of view, versus whatever you put on the table. It just look at it, A versus B
Yep.
versus C. Just make it juicy.
Yeah.
It's either going to be, it's going to cost less or more, but I'm getting less or more.
Right.
Right. And then I'm just looking at it. Oh, I want this. And then if you offer more with a live stream, just that alone, plus whatever this package, traditional package offers, already I'm getting more.
Right.
So,
But
price
it's the part, that's the thing. The hard part is that the live stream is the most difficult part of it. It takes there's a monthly, let's just say there's a monthly expense, there's more equipment involved, all these different things. And then
well, just like a video company,
right, it ends up just being
just overhead.
it's got to work. That's the thing.
Exactly. And-
Like
and you're getting closer.
I'm almost to this point where I'm just like, I could almost just be offering video for ceremony. Forget the whole reception. I'm going to offer just ceremony for $1,400 with an edited video, you know, and start trying to get it. And it's like,
it would be, first of all, it'd be more than 14 because we got to operate under the assumption that the stream works and you got it,
right,
because that's the goal.
right.
It'll work. It'll stream. You'll get it.
Yeah. So then it needs to be more. It needs to be at 15.
Well, you're offering more. You're offering more.
Right.
And then the fact that you already have most of the edit, because you figure the edit is part of that 1400,
Right.
right?
Right.
So you're offsetting that with the live stream, the ATEM Mini. You're essentially editing in real time. So your load post is reduced greatly.
But only if I keep it in 1080.
Okay, keep it in 1080.
Okay.
I know you're saying we can offer 4K and such, but consider the fact that 1080, even those tall videos that I was saying earlier that I sent off to Fiverr, even though it's shot with these nice cameras, like the 1080 comes out looking crisp.
The 1080 on these is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow.
That's what
I
I
mean,
mean.
even these, even
No,
this feed
yeah.
is all 1080
And
with cable though. I mean, so it's going to look good.
true, it's not
The
wireless.
the transmission does degrade it a little bit. That's the thing. Cause I'm just like, that's why I do the 4K internal record.
Which
It's a pain in the ass.
I mean, if we think about, again, give and take,
Right.
we give a little on the resolution, but we gain a little bit on the package as a product.
Right. Oh man. Yeah.
You know what I
You're
mean?
like, wait, I get
Yeah.
the.
So, yeah, and to be honest, I think sort of the validity or the weight of, let's say, 4K, 5K, 6K, 8K is losing some value
Yeah.
because so much consumption is done on regular screens and
Right.
such. What's more valuable is the time. What, you can give it to me when?
Right.
What's the turnaround time in your traditional packages, right? That we just talked about.
Most people
turnaround
say
time-
a month.
That's what I mean. So what am I getting? We're just lining up products on the shelf here. We're in the salad dressing aisle at the supermarket. Why should I choose this one over that? You're putting it out in a way that's like one, you're sticking out because of the quality. And again, and with all the examples that have to back it up, it just looks like a product that I would get.
Right. You're like, ooh, this looks nice. This looks nice. This looks nice.
Yeah.
This looks nice. Oh,
Oh, and
I
you
guess
can
I'll
do
go with
that?
that. Yeah.
What? You say you can stream it?
Yeah.
So you
Got to
have
get that sorted.
you'll have the. It does sound like it.
It's a good
Video.
package.
Yeah.
It is. It's a good package. So
Yeah.
okay, so the doing the internal recording makes it more difficult because
Yeah.
I lose my screen
Yeah.
and then I need my monitors. I bought those monitors only for that. So what if I didn't record internally, but then I don't have a secondary backup? That's the other thing. If something messes up with the ATEM, something messes up with the cable, the SSD, you
Why-
don't have a backup.
You could still record internally, but that's your backup for your peace of mind. But you're not offering that.
In the package.
Yeah. What you're saying is you'll get this 1080 or call it high def, whatever you want to do, right? Again,
Mhm.
marketing language, right? Expectation setting. But just look at what I've done.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think the product is going to sell itself because you're like, that's very like more getting into sales now,
Right.
and, you know. But
You're offering this big
Merchant-
basket of freaking
Yeah.
value opposed to this one candy bar.
but how do you get people to know about it? How do you get people in the shop to even get a sample? Those are all the questions. The fact is, you're able to stream.
Yeah.
In a way that is not available on the market right now. And if it is, which is more of your market research, is like, who's doing it? How much are they costing? What are they delivering? What are they promising?
What is the deliverable?
What does it look like in person?
Yeah.
Which you already got the edge up.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you at my wedding
And it
Then
not
s-
work.
than somebody else. No, again, we're working already. It's
Yeah,
working.
it's working.
You know?
No, absolutely.
That setup-
I come pressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I come looking good, and the display looks
And-
good.
And you, like how you're saying, just be out of sight.
Yeah.
And all that guests people can see are like the 3 cameras.
Well, that's the beauty of the wireless. That's why.
With no why. So
That's the beauty of the wireless.
yeah,
Who
It-
wants
it's
a
clean.
video production but with the set on your set? It's like nobody.
Some people do.
Yeah, but I get that, but you want the production, but without
The intrusion,
exactly.
right?
You still want maybe they want speakers, maybe they want this and
I think
the glam, but they don't want the mess.
you're almost in the same lane as DJs
Right.
as far as setup time required. Like you got to,
Correct.
you got to be there earlier.
Right.
You've got a lot more fail points.
Yep.
You've got a lot more requirements, system requirements.
You got to
okay?
test it before and during. You know? Yeah.
The DJs are like one of the first people on the reception site.
Yep.
So that might be you at the ceremony site. Okay.
Right.
And with that, look at all the different DJ MCs out there today. Look at the setups, right? A lot will tell you about if I want that at my wedding,
Oh yeah.
right?
If you can afford it, you're like, I don't want a messy one.
But also it's like, well, what are they delivering? Did I feel like they vibe with me and they understand my
Right.
requests?
That's a
about,
huge part.
you know? So
I think I
There's-
got that part too.
there's a facade part. Do you match the wedding? There's also just the actual product. Are you going to provide what I want from you?
Absolutely.
Right? Can I rely on you? Have you done it before? Right?
And the
These things.
communication even before that. Like you were saying, in this industry, you can get clients just because a coordinator likes you.
Oh, probably referrals
I
is
already
where
got one.
exactly.
Actually,
many-
I guess I have two now.
How
So,
many referrals? I mean, so much of the wedding industry here is like, again, and because we're an island, it's magnified.
Right.
You better not step on anybody's toes.
Yeah.
You gotta be respectful. You
Yep.
can't like cut. It's not as cutthroat as other places, maybe like on the mainland. I never see you again type thing.
Yeah.
So we have that here, and because of that, there's a lot of word to mouth.
Yeah.
And so when you step on the scene and raise your voice like, this is what I can do, yeah, people are going to say, oh, finally, someone who can
Right.
stream, somebody who can give you a full ceremony edit the next day. You know what I mean? Like
The full package.
to be able to offer your service is me adding value to my clients
Right.
too. And that just compounds.
Yep. And
the
if you're
more and
easy
more.
to work with, you communicate, like all those other business skills
Yeah, like-
and like human skills. It's like, man, people like that. People want to work. You know, if you're a coordinator, ideally, you'd want to like all the people involved in the process of building that beautiful wedding, you know? That's not how it goes, but you would like that if you could pick, oh, budget's not oh, I love working with Kenji. We're going to get Kenji. Oh, we love working with Daryl. Let's get Daryl and Stephanie. Like all the ones that you just love working with, but you also love their product.
It's
You're going to
always-
pick that.
Well, I know coordinators do this, and like even if I don't know if it's built in, like I know in real estate, a lender is going to have at least 3 agents to present to a client who's like, hey, I need a loan to buy a home, but I also need an agent. The loan officer is going to say, hey, I have, like how a wedding coordinator would say, I have a list of vendors.
Right.
I think it's more like
And you feel out
into the law on that side. But in weddings, a lot of coordinators operate similarly with like, oh, you need a florist? I have 3. Oh, you need a videographer? I have 3. You need a photographer? I have 3.
Yep.
Cake? I have 3. Right. So they have a list
They're
of
preferred
vendors. But how many have a list of preferred vendors when it comes to streaming?
Yeah.
Let alone someone that can offer what like that.
Right. And what their package looks
And
like.
then that's just opening the door to sell the second sale, the third sale, the fourth sale on your end.
Yep.
Which could be, the video or photo or, what you want to express rush or 5 cameras, whatever.
Somebody asked me to shoot photo and video in June. I said, okay, I could do it. I just got to get a team and a bunch of cameras and a bunch of gear, but I'm going to definitely take it.
I'm waiting for the day. Like I've already started doing it to some degree, but like using the stills from these cameras for social media.
Oh yeah.
Because fuck, those are great.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't print them.
Of course.
Maybe on a small, but who prints anyways?
Nobody
prints it?
prints.
You know what I mean?
It's a great idea, but nobody does it.
And for my use case, it works. It's social media.
Yep.
Right. And I think time is more valuable than pixels today. Yeah. Right.
Well, that's the thing. People modify images so much now. It doesn't even, like you could add grain. Okay. Oh, but I don't want mine grainy. Okay. Oh, but mine has a green tint to it. Oh, but I want to add green to mine. And it's like, again, I think it's like what you were saying about this business. It's like all about the package. What are you selling? It doesn't matter what this one thing is, but what is it as a whole? You know what I mean?
I think when you lay out at the end of the day in front of a potential client, when you lay out how you solve problems in a clear way that feels like he's not lying to me, right? The sales process becomes infinitely easier.
Yeah.
Because either they're going to be like, I already liked how he handled everything up until this point.
Right.
And now I have a even better picture of what he can do. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. It's trust. It's when
like,
when you have some trust in people, when they trust you, you feel like you're going on this journey together, and that other person's not trying to take advantage of you.
No.
Life happens, but they're not going to try to take advantage of you along the way. That's big.
See how you handled defeat, failure, right? That's, like I said, like that's how I want to hear if I spent money and didn't get what I spent money for. Like I can understand it, and it's not like a fuck you, you signed on the line, which does happen.
Absolutely.
Right?
And then you still need to
Non-refundable.
be able to handle that situation.
Yeah. So I mean, you kind of pass the vibe check.
Yeah.
And now it's like, this is what I do, offered for this, this, and this. Very clear and understandable. Like you wouldn't even need to sit down with someone to explain it. That level of clarity, in whether it's your website or like maybe you follow up with a web or like a pricing page or whatever. It's very easy to understand. If you want, then you kind of compare. This is what other people in the industry offer. This is what I offer. You can compare. You have testimonials at this point.
Yep.
It just becomes very clear. Like, this is what I do. Versus,
I think
buy
it's a
this,
good idea.
buy this, buy
Right.
this. It's no, this is what I do.
Yeah.
People are smart. They figure like, hey,
They know.
You know what? I have my daughter's getting married. Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Next time.
Oh.
Live.
Let's go live.
Let's go live.
Yeah.